hi.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
That speech lie is interesting. Let's go with that. There's no reason why he's not gonna attack me. You think I'm the lobotomite? No. For my skull houses the brain of Mobius!
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible for science! Mesons, lasers, atom brainwaves. All are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Ah! Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
I could have let you live.
Does this weapon have soft lock? Anyone?
But I don't want to. Sorry, yo.
Does this weapon have soft lock? Anyone?
Oh, Klein is actually really tough.
Oh my! That's what my attack protocols feel like.
That's all. Well, they're all dead. And I had the option to not let them all die. That's what I did in my first time through the game, I think. Meeting people. Dr. 8 had meeting people. It's really difficult finding their bodies because it's just the screen. Every other bit is not part of their bodies. This is Dalla with a teddy bear. Oh, this is still Dalla. This is Klein over here. All Klein. And these foot lockers with basically nothing. I think I opened them before. Well, my murderous rampage is done. Justice has been served. Clearly. Let's look at our quest and see what we have to do for that. Leave the think tank. How?
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
The Forbidden Zone continued to be, true to its name, forbidden. No more robo-scorpions were sighted in its canyons. Big Mountain became even emptier, devoid of Dr. Mobius's proclamations forecasting the destruction of anything that dared possess sentience. Still, it is said he lived on in the equations inscribed on the floor and walls of the Forbidden Zone dome. A cobweb tracery of symbols that told of 1,000 brilliant thoughts, now lost to time.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough, and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses. releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier left the brain at the Big Empty. A strange thing to say, but it was the truth. Brains are less important than they may seem. When the courier's body finally passed, the brain was saddened. It kept on, remembering the vessel that had once contained it. Even at the end, when it started to fail, however, the brain resisted going into a floating chassis like the think tank. It never said why. Perhaps it was out of respect for the courier's body. All things must come to an end, and to hang on to the past is something that's not to be undertaken lightly.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
All DLCs I have to walk alone. I'm going there right now. You have acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Mountain. To return to the Mojave, or go back to the Big Mountain from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Pluston, as you would any weapon. Pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
If you haven't found any communists in your backyard, you're not looking hard enough.
Well, I was gonna say, let's look at this weapon. Oh, we need to go from to the outside. I was gonna say this DLC actually, I think the subjects are too dispersed. Either I'm not smart enough, which is also very much a possibility. Let's see. Where is the transporter torpison? What? Oh, it starts with B. It's Big Mountain Transport and Torpison. Of course. So there it is. Yeah, I think the subjects of this DLC are a little bit too spread out. I get where it ends up and being like, oh, the future is nice with technology and whatnot. But I don't know, it feels shallow somehow. This is the thing. It feels like a wimp. Oh, not a wimp, a whimper at the end. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting out of here. Let's do another DLC. Because we're going to do the Lonesome Road. Is that the one? So I can go at any time. It's like a portal. It's a portal home. Beam me home, Scotty, sort of thing. Huh. Well, we're back to the Mojave. It's midnight, most likely. And we have a bunch of missions. We don't have a bunch of missions, but we have the same missions as before. We also have this thing over here. Canyon Wreckage. The last DLC. I don't know what the name of the DLC is. Oh, doggies. Yeah, murder. Courier 6. Oh, was that written there? You can go home, Courier. The Divide. Lonesome Road. I think we have a radio broadcast for this.
Welcome back, lady.
No, we do not. Let's go. The coordinates you received lead you to this canyon filled with storm-tossed wreckage. Beyond lies the Divide. Lonesome Road is intended for experienced couriers, level 25 or higher. You cannot take companions with you on the road ahead, nor bring any you find out with you. You can carry whatever equipment and gear you have with you without restrictions. However, if the journey proves too difficult, or you need to resupply, you can retrace your steps and return to the Mojave at any time. If you are prepared, then continue on into the storms of the Divide. History awaits. Here we go. Let's do it. Pass to Canyon Wreckage. The reunion has been completed. I can come up here. There's rocks falling. This is what they were talking about. The land being wounded and the NCR not being capable of getting past very easily. Wow. Wow. There's also this. Is this an optional area? It's just a plastic skeleton. That's cool, though. That's really cool. Just a car. There's more rocks falling from above. Hopeville Silo Bunker. Hopeville Ballistics Center. Oh, there's the courier. We can travel to there. I just want to look at this, because I'm not sure we're going to be up there. That was a city. And it's all fractured. Huh. I mean, the land up close isn't any better. I don't know what that says. You can go home, courier. That opened by itself. Programmer's Digest. Silo blast door controls. It's just the doors. This console controls access to the silo itself, but it is encrypted beyond your ability to hack. You will need to find something that can break the encryption in order to proceed. Also known as the encryption key. Or potentially something else. This door is locked and needs electricity before opening. Well. Unlock maintenance access door. Unlocked. Maintenance access status. Unlocked. Status log. Main power offline. Emergency power standby. Maintenance level report. A lot of it is inactive. Level 1, 2, and 3. That one is still locked. I don't know what that is. What's going on in here? There's an arc welder. Breathing mask. Are we gonna need to use that? I don't think so. Duffel bag. Ooh. Steam packs expired. Nuka-Cola quartz. Ralphie. Find all of the Ralphie... What? No, I'm not gonna find them. Oh. That's Ralphie. We saw one of those posters before, I think. Bot pod status. Locked. Maintenance department log. Offline. All the things. Commissary note. Attention all base personnel. The automated commissary system has been locked down until further notice. It turns out that the, quote, counterfeit-proof, unquote, pay chits we have been issuing to you are exactly the same size and shape as ordinary bottle caps. Until we can correct the problem, you'll have to make your purchase the old-fashioned way. Sergeant Lensky. Attention all base personnel, this is just a reminder that all base commissary terminals draw from the same central depository. Please do not waste your time or the technicians by running from commissary to commissary. You won't get any more whiskey than you did from the first one. Let's open it. Why'd you do that? Eddie? What are you doing here? That's not Eddie, is it? This silo must have some pretty advanced engineering facilities to remote scan you and build copies. Slow down, slow down. What do you mean you're not the Eddie I know? I think I could use your help getting out of here. Can you come with me?
Experiment log 369248/B. iBot Duraframe Universal Interface Override System. This is Dr. Whitley presiding. We've boosted signal gain and enlarged the overflow buffer system. That should ensure 100% connectivity and control. Eddie, whenever you're ready. Yes, success. Reporting full success on 369248/B. Eddie was able to interface with and override the test panel in under 3 seconds. Great job, team. Now let's start on the proposal for the full rollout.
That's a recording from your development. Are you saying you can override electronic security? Also, this is all Enclave. Is it Enclave? Does that make sense? Because the test silo, so the Enclave had missiles? Or is it government? Oh, wait a minute. Huh, I don't know. Yeah, that's a recording from your development. Are you saying you can override electronic security? Only panels with a dish-shaped receiver. Right, the console in the main room had one of those, I think. Was that the voice of your creator? What happened to him? Maybe you'll see him again someday. Ah, well, I'm sure he's fine. Wherever he is. Alright, let's keep moving. Is he actually Eddie? Use Eddie to break the encryption on the blast door terminal, yes. He doesn't have my loot, so he's not Eddie. So a dish-shaped receiver. It's kind of funny because dishes can literally have any shape. Well, not any shape, but many different shapes. I think it's a satellite dish. What? Have Eddie access the commissary for you. Yeah, what? Oh, he did it. Did you do it? Oh, this thing. He's doing it. He's messing with these things. I opened the door without him, though. What the hell was that? Welcome to the United States Armed Services Joint Automated Commissary and Repair Station, also known as USASJAJ. Please input your selection below. Let's see, repair interface. Hopefully it does cost money. I don't want it then. Commissary. Oh, it's a sellable thingy. Okay, that's gonna take care of my inventory weight. So the commissary is just a trader and a repairer.